we get a little homie, you been getting some brain. Rapping about how you smoking weed like a chain, but I gotta be the one to throw the industry shade. Told you I've been fed up, get your bread up, you don't drop shit. Dropping so much fire, 2018, it's obnoxious. Put me on a 16, watch the numbers rise. Just went from the bubble to the topic. LOL, tell me that I lost it. Low key, love it when they talk shit. High key, working with the OGs. Same artists that I was always watching. Crazy, I be living out my dreams. Only 2 years ago I came up on the scene. Sleeping through the day, but I'm working like a fiend. Yeah, she need me when I'm here, and she need me when I leave. Like, they told me that like, when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. They tell me that like, when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. You cannot stop me. Ay. No more ballin' on a budget. Never been top 40, man, I'm underground. Right from the sunrise, finna blow up by the time that the sun goes down. Yeah, show you that I run it. Lately I've been on the low, we should make some ruckus. Yeah. Old girls gonna wanna.
How's it going, everyone? It's Tiger on Advantage here, and today I'll be showing you guys how to manipulate and edit the template that I've posted or provided for you guys. So when you first open up the template, it's gonna look something like this. You're gonna have the final effects and the final render. We'll get into the final effects towards the end of the video. It's not that difficult, there's only 3 pieces to it. And I'll explain that towards the end, as I stated already. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut that off. But when you open up the template, you're gonna get the final render. You're gonna have a little folder called PSD, and when you open this up, you're gonna see a bunch of stuff. So the key thing that you need to know is that anything selected in red, you cannot edit or change, because it will alter the PSD and make it look really crappy, right? So if I turn off like lighting and CC, it looks really bad. So let's go ahead and turn that back on. Anything that is green means that you can edit or manipulate it. So for example, FMO grenade. FMO stands for free movable object, meaning you can move it or manipulate it wherever you want. But like I said, as you expand the name, it's going to be longer, shorter, whatever your name ends up being. You can change these items to fit that best. If you want to change the text, you can go to edit here, text. You have a subtext for those who like to, you know, advertise their Twitch streams or their YouTubes on any platform really. For example, this one's on Twitter. You guys can turn that on, change it to whatever you want. You can mess around with the colors, I don't really mind. But the main text is really what we need to get into today. So to change name here, just go to, for example, this text box here where it says here. You can click on it and change it to yes, I don't know, whatever you want to change it to. But I'm gonna leave it as here for now. And as you can tell, the lighting was a little bit off when I changed it, and that's because I actually have layers to actually compensate for, like, for example, the shadow of the boogie bomb, the shadow of the tire, the lighting of the explosion. You guys can really just play with that. Just if you don't know what settings to have, for example, like the explosion, the light on the name here, which is pretty much just a yellow. This is the hex code for the yellow if you guys want it. Just set a light brush or a soft brush and trace around the text where you guys want it. Let me reduce this really quick. You can pretty much just go around. So for example, I can highlight here if I wanted to. This is white, I need yellow. So for example, if I wanted more glow here, I could just do so. But one thing that you guys need to know is that the layer needs to be clipped. So to clip the layer, let's say that I unclipped this, right? I traced everywhere that I wanted the yellow to go. First off, this is on linear light, keep that in mind. Usually when you do this, it will be set to normal. Yeah, so I stated that because some people will just say, why doesn't my yellow match that? You know, it's because it's on linear light. So what you can do is hold down Alt and click in between the layers. And what that'll do is it'll bind it to the text here, the name text. So you can literally do it to pretty much anything. For example, if I really wanted to, I could actually color the boogie bomb, I just make a layer above the boogie bomb by clicking this layer button here. Then I hit Alt, I attach it or connect it to the boogie bomb, and then I can literally color a boogie bomb yellow, and it won't go anywhere else. It'll just stay directly on the boogie bomb. But I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and erase that. So pretty much anything that you guys see, for example, this is a gradient right here at the bottom. All it is just soft brushes going across horizontally with the opacity turned down. This is a light gradient, I guess you could say. The tire shadow is the same thing. It's just soft brushes, just minimal details. Just go ahead and pick through the template all you want. Play with it as much as you want, change it as much as you want. If you really want to, you can even unlock the layers and move things around. It really doesn't bother me. Just remember that if something comes undone, for example, if I undo the explosion and you get a bunch of lights everywhere, for example like this, it looks really bad. Just remember that it's more than likely a clipping issue, so just go ahead and clip those. Now, one other thing that I want to cover for you guys is that there are 3D cues here. So for example, this is 3D, this is 3D. The way that Ace is coming through covering the N is 3D. You guys can actually turn that all off in the 3D pieces section. So for example, if I don't want Ace, I would turn him off. And notice how he goes behind the N now. And if I don't want the cart hovering over the name, you can actually turn that off as well, so you can keep it behind. But if you do know that, or I mean if you do that, just as a tip, I would actually erase the explosion glow, because that really only compensates for the tires. For example, you see the glow on the cart, to create a 3D effect you really need to add some more to it, right? Other than that, that's pretty much the setup of the template. Nothing big, nothing much to it. All you really have to do is tweak some lighting, which, like I said, is in a simplified form. Just take soft brushes, apply them places, turn down the opacity. You can look at some of the settings that I already have set up for you guys, just by coming over to, like, for example, the main text. If you want to know how I created the shadow on the bottom of the text, or if you want to know how I did the shadow for the tire, all you have to do is just go to it, see what the settings on, and see what the opacity is at. Other than that, if I turn this up, you'll notice that it's literally just me. I can recreate it for you guys here. It's just me taking a soft brush, changing the width of the brush, I guess you can say. I'm going to create another layer here. I'm going to type this as demonstration. Okay, so demonstration, right? So make sure that layer selected. When I create it, it's not going to be bound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on the Alt button, and click in between the layers, and everything becomes hooked. So if I wanted to create a shadow here, all I'm going to do is going to take my soft brush, make sure it's a soft brush. You can tell because this one has edges, this one doesn't. Okay. Select the color you want. For the shadow, shadows are black, so we're going to pick black. Click here, right? And you notice how that creates a little bit of a shadow. You don't see it on the cart, but you see it on the text. That's because it's hooked to our text here. So now, that's too dark. I don't want that to be so dark. I want to reduce that. I'm going to turn down the opacity, which is just how transparent things are. I'm going to reduce that down to like 54, right? So now you have a subtle shadow where the wheels of the car are. And you can pretty much do that to like everything. For the explosions, I believe they're set to linear light. I think the red may be a little bit different than the white text, but like I said, you guys can just flip through the layers. It'll be too long if I had to explain everything to you guys. So just look at how I had everything set up and kind of tweak it to however you can. If you guys have questions on how to tweak it, just please let me know in the comment section. And after you tweak it, change your name to whatever, move around the grenades, boogie bomb, so on and so forth, right? You can actually then apply the final effects. So the final effects, all you really have to do, right? So if I was gonna apply the final effects, just press Control J while having the final render selected, and it'll create a copy of it, right? What you can do is click merge group, or right click and then go to merge group. and that's just going to create a copy that's all smashed together. So if I turn off everything, it's pretty much the same setup, but it's just one image. You don't have a bunch of folders, it's just an image. So the three things that you guys are going to want to, well, if you guys want to get the final effect, right? You're going to look at RGB, high pass, and sharpen. The first one that we're going to apply is sharpen. So make sure that you have your final render folder turned on. You're going to want that because we're actually going to reduce the opacity of our sharpen. So what you're going to do is go up to filter, go to sharpen, click on sharpen, and notice that that's going to take our image and make it very, 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 I don't know the word, I want to say intense. It's more defined, I guess you can say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this down to 80. I'm going to take that down to 80 because I don't want it too defined because it gets really, really blurry. Just enough so you can see the tiny little details. It's really pixelated because I zoomed in far. So what you're going to do next is you're going to do a high pass. So we're going to go down to our copy again. You're going to press Ctrl J. You're going to go up to filter, you're going to go to other, and you're going to go to high pass. My high pass is usually set around 6, so go ahead and apply that. And to copy the settings on this, just put it on darken and around 3%. So we can put this on, where is it at, darken? Put this around 3%. All that really does is bring out shadows a little bit more than what you would usually see. It also changes the lighting a little bit, makes it look smoother. And then the final effect, right? What everybody usually goes for. So I'm going to title this our sharpen, or D sharpen for demonstration sharpen. It says D high pass. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to duplicate your sharpen again. You're going to move it up above the high pass, and you're going to title this, well, I'm going to title this D RGB. So here is something that used to be really popular when people did images. What you do is you double click. It's going to open up a tab here. Now, depending on what colors you have in the scene is really where this shines. So for example, I'm going to turn off my red and my blue. And what you're going to do is make sure you have this layer selected. And then you're going to press, oh, that's too much. You're going to press the arrow key to the right. I would press it maybe 1 or 2 times, depending. This is 1 time. You can already see how it kind of does like a 3D effect to it, which looks nice just as one. And that just applies an RGB effect to it. And that's pretty much how you get the final effect. You can even do stuff where you can take like the select tool, hold shift, we'll first do a selection and then hold shift while you do another selection. Do a selection here, just kind of randomize it, I guess. I'm gonna put them wherever I feel like I need them. So here, 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 here. And what you can do is you can press backspace while making sure that you have the RGB layer selected. So once you do that, erase it, and it's gonna create like a little glitch effect. If I move it more, it'll be more noticeable, but that's pretty much how you manipulate the template. So with that being said, if you guys like the tutorial, please click the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out and shows me support. The more support I get, the more I want to actually produce and put these videos out for you guys, create templates, show off some gameplay and stuff like that. So if you guys don't mind, please make sure to click those buttons for me. And thank you guys for all the support that you guys have given me so far.